Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I've been keeping up with the Canada news, and today, I think her name is Orca, one of the subscribers, said there's some conspiracy, something crazy going on in Canada, and what's going on is this lady, Ruby Dhalla, learns that she's been disqualified. So we're gonna watch her speech, and she's gonna learn live that she's been sacked. She's like, get out of here. Oh my god. Hold on, we gotta fight through the ads first.
This would be even better than Pink Sunset Italic.
We gotta fight out the ads. Man, how long was this? Like 30 seconds?
From the Liberal Party as to that type of decision.
Skip back.
Thank you for joining us. Have you received official word yet from the Liberal Party on your disqualification from this race?
I haven't as of yet. It's quite interesting that I turned
She hasn't learned yet. It says she learns live, so let's find
on
out.
CBC News and read your headline that I was being disqualified from the race. I checked my email, my campaign team has, and as of this moment, we have not.
Why though? What the fuck? Why did she get disqualified? Take a guess. I don't know yet.
Received any indication from the Liberal Party as to that type of decision, which to me is very alarming and very shocking. That
I mean, if there's a reason to be disqualified, of course she would say that, right? This is alarming to me.
These types of leaks, from sources that are occurring.
We have just received a statement from the Liberal Party, Ms. Dhalla. I swear this just
Whoa, that guy's head is clean, man. That is the perfect bald head. It's such a good bald shape.
came into my email. It's a statement by Azam Ismail, who is the Liberal Party of Canada National Director.
This is live. He's reading it live to her.
On Ruby Dhalla's candidacy for leader of the Liberal Party. Today, the Liberal Leadership Vote Committee unanimously made the decision to disqualify Ruby Dhalla. The decision followed an extensive process and review, including interviews, questionnaires, and an opportunity for Dr. Dhalla to directly address the committees.
She's a
After
doctor.
a thorough
Sorry, disrespect. Dr. Dhalla. Dr. Dhalla has been disqualified.
Investigation, the Leadership Vote Committee and the Leadership Expense Committee, sitting jointly, unanimously determined that Dr. Dhalla was in breach of 10 violations of the National Liberal Leadership Rule.
10 violations. I hope he reads them because I don't follow Canadian politics like that close, so I need him to say it to me what it is.
Leadership vote rules and the leadership expense rules. The violations include concerns about alleged violations of the Canada Elections Act, certain other election finance matters, non-disclosure of material facts, and inaccurate financial reporting. The leadership
Damn, I mean, if that's the case, more than half of our politicians should have been canceled, right?
Vote Committee determined that the violations were extremely serious and accepted the recommendation of the Chief Electoral Officer and disqualified Dr. Dhalla under Section 8 of the
She's smiling, but she's screaming inside.
National Leadership Rules. I'm assuming this is the first you are hearing this statement. What do you say that it was unanimous that there were 10 violations of those various?
Okay, I'm not from Canada. There's only 3 people in here right now, but if you're from Canada, you have to let me know. Is this real? Is she actually corrupt? Or is someone playing a game?
Rules.
Well, I think it speaks to the state of the Liberal Party of Canada that a candidate who is running to become leader of the party, who is running to become prime minister in our country, is finding out that she has been disqualified on air.
Yeah, it's pretty low class, That's like what basketball teams do too. Like, the player will be at a game, and then mid-game, he gets yanked down. They're like, oh, you've been traded, son. Sorry.
From an email that the media outlet that she is interviewing with has received. So it is very alarming and very shocking. It is certainly...
I don't know if it's right or wrong, but that was so disrespectful, to be honest. She's literally giving a speech, like giving an interview to media. And the host gets an email saying, yeah, you've been disqualified unanimously. That's embarrassing.
Not surprising, because I think the Liberal Party of Canada was seeing exactly what our internal polls are telling us.
That's
that
crazy.
My campaign and my team, we were neck to neck with a front runner in the race.
How are we feeling about this, Canada? How are we feeling about this?
They did not want me to go on to that debate stage in Montreal. They certainly did not want me on that ballot. And the Liberal Party of Canada wanted to complete the coronation of Mark Carney.
Oh my God, don't tell me this is another Mark Carney scheme. Listen, I'm just getting into the Canadian politics, and the more I hear about this Mark Carney, I just want to... So annoying. Why is he so involved with everything? He's like a dragon, or like He's like an octopus, and he has his little tentacles and everything.
All the allegations that you have mentioned have been that you have spoken about. They are completely false. They are fabricated, and I will not allow the Liberal Party of Canada.
See, I don't know. This is confusing for me. I'm from America. Like, she sounds suspicious. He's obviously suspicious. Like, she's getting pretty heated. I get that. So I don't know.
Or anyone, for that matter, to smear my name or to smear the name of thousands of volunteers in our campaign.
You said you had an opportunity to present to the committee that made this decision today, correct? What did you say to them?
Yes.
What did you say?
You know, on the committee, they had members from the voting committee, from the expense committee. This committee has been kept secret from all of the candidates. The candidates have been asking who are the members of this committee.
That's like fishy too. Like, if there's these like investigations and stuff going on, wouldn't it be in the best interest of everybody to have it be like transparent? She doesn't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. None of the other members know what's going on. Sounds like a shit show.
Committee. It wasn't until today, when I actually presented to them via a virtual call, that I was even made aware of who the individuals were. Neither was time taken for anyone to even introduce themselves. But regardless, no matter what we said and what proof was provided that these violations, were not committed, that this was simply false and fabricated breaches that the party is alleging.
I have to do some investigations after this. So, you get the news perspective, and then you got to go get the YouTubers' perspectives.
They still had a predetermined agenda to keep Ruby Dhalla off of the ballot, to keep Ruby Dhalla.
Why? Is she that good? Is she a good candidate? This is the first time I've heard of her. It's been Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre, and maybe a little bit of that other lady.
The debate stage, because they did not want anyone challenging their front runner, their blue-eyed boy.
God, this is just like America. This is your Bernie Sanders. Joe Biden just kicked off Bernie Sanders so he can get the nomination because he thinks he's a better choice. Mark Carney is Joe Biden. Oh my God.
Mark Carney.
Okay, I mean, you make that allegation. You say you have thousands of people in your volunteers in your organization. I've not seen any polling anywhere that puts you neck and neck with Mark Carney.
That's what I was just saying. That I'm like, I'm not from Canada, but I've literally never heard of this lady in my life. The only reason I heard of her is because someone commented in the chat. Like, did you hear about this this thing going on?
If anything, he has a commanding lead over even Chrystia Freeland and Karina Gould, who in some form are second and third amongst Liberals and amongst Canadians. I mean, what are you basing this on, that you were the threat to Mr. Carney?
Well, I'm the only one that was the outsider in the race. I am the only candidate that has not been an advisor to the current administration. I am the only candidate that has not served as a minister or a member of parliament. I am the only one that was an outsider.
To be honest, this could be like totally irrelevant of anything. There could be like no nefarious play here. But just so far, face value, it just seems really weird.
That was continuing to...
Mark Carney's the guy that worked for like the WEF and some other bank, right? In Bank of England.
Challenge the front runner, continuing to challenge and speak out for the establishment, and also bringing forward policies, which I thought were very important to bring our party back to the center, to return our party back into the hands of the membership and the grassroots.
Okay, she's starting to sound like Pierre now.
And when I talk about these polling numbers, this was and is going to be a preferential ballot where people mark 1, 2, 3, or 4. And even though people may be supporting Mark Carney as their number one choice, they were looking at supporting Ruby Dhalla for their second choice, along with the other thousands of members that our team
She wanted to get second place.
Had signed up. And I think that the Liberal Party must have felt some sort of threat to the establishment, to their coronation that they wanted for their frontrunner.
Okay, you say you are an outsider. One of the allegations against you is that there was an outsider, as in a non-Canadian citizen.
Check this out. Someone just posted this on X. It says, the Liberal Party did to Ruby Dhalla what Democrat Party did to Tulsi Gabbard. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe this is your Tulsi Gabbard right here. I don't know, but we'll keep it going. It says, the establishment is clearly... This is a Ruby Dhalla post. The establishment is clearly rattled. The Liberal Party had clear agenda from the start. $350,000 for their pockets. Will they do the right thing and refund the hard-earned money that hardworking Canadians donated to my campaign? Wow, this goes deep. Liberals are now out defending an unelected WEF central banker with 3 passports and hasn't disclosed his personal finances or lived in Canada for 10 years. Saying Ruby Dhalla was disqualified from the Liberal leadership race due to suspicion of foreign interference. That's what I was saying. Doesn't Mark Carney have so much baggage? He's like an absolute deep stater.
Playing a role in your campaign, involved in the direction and support.
Dude, there's 6 people in here. I hope some of you guys are from Canada. Do you guys have any videos I can watch that explains Mark Carney's background? Because I want to find out more. That is sus.
The campaign and financial.
The guy has 3 passports. Are you kidding me? And he hasn't lived in Canada. Why would he be your president? And how is this lady suspicious? That guy has like 50 times more money.
Contributing to your campaign. Are you aware of a wealthy non-Canadian citizen playing a role in your campaign and donating to your campaign?
Was it Prime Minister
First of all,
Modi?
there has been no donations. Again, these are false and fabricated stories that are being made up. We have provided them with all of the information in regards to this. But if the false and fabricated, and fake allegations continue, we have seen that they will say whatever.
How is Canadian politics more entertaining than American politics right now?
It takes, and they
never in my life did I ever expect that
in this race, so that I would not participate in the debates in Montreal on Monday and Tuesday.
But is there an extremely wealthy non-Canadian citizen supporting your campaign?
She's not answering. Oh, wait.
No, there is not.
Oh, that was pretty clear. Now, let's ask Mark Carney the same question.
Nobody from outside the country who's not a Canadian providing any kind of material support, even if it's donations of things, advising you, giving you direction in any way whatsoever. Because this is one of the allegations that I am told you were presented with. You know what I'm talking about here, I assume, Ms. Dhalla, and that was discussed at this committee.
Here we go. You got another government acts is corrupt. Watch. Remember when Justin Trudeau said a new leader would be chosen through a robust nationwide competitive process? Well, it turns out that was all a lie. Mark Carney was the chosen one all along, and anyone challenging him has been disqualified. Dude, people complain about Russia and getting rid of their political opponents, but what makes this any better than Russia? Answer that. I don't know. He's literally eliminating his opponents. People are sick and tired of the Liberal Party talking about inclusivity, yet their actions do not reflect that. Yeah, dude. How's that a democracy? Libs, the U.S. didn't elect a woman president. Also libs, kick out and disqualify woman candidate Ruby Dhalla from the leadership race. The coronation of Carney is almost complete, and apparently so is the corrosion of the democracy. That's crazy. Here you go, this guy exposes it apparently. Let's see.
Live CBC. She was the former chief of staff of the Liberal Party. They kicked out Ruby Dhalla because she was seen as a threat to Mark Carney's leadership bid campaign. They were terrified that Ruby Dhalla was going to rip him apart during the debate.
Dude, it's just like Joe Biden. She was gonna destroy him with questions, and he was gonna have nowhere to go. Not that she could win, but he would expose him, and then he would lose support, right? So that's why I think they got rid of her.
He was going to expose some of the truth that we all are suspicious of. I can't wait to show you the clip. However, I want to say a couple things first. Mark Carney has been advising our Liberal government since 2020, and he stepped in to help advise Chrystia Freeland with Canada's finances.
So not only did he do nothing for 10 years, he came in 2020 and he ruined the country even more. I am so invested in this now.
At the same time, he was on the board of 20 different companies, and one of them specifically was Stripe. Stripe received hundreds of millions of dollars, and they were supposed to give those savings to customers, and they have not given anything. So that means Mark Carney could have enriched himself from our government providing this subsidy to Stripe. And guess what?
He's so guilty. He's so guilty. Dude, he needs to get arrested. If anyone votes for him, I'm gonna, like, I won't even feel bad if Trump invades. Because that's insane. How is this guy in the lead? Ruby has had her share of issues in the past, but in this case, there was an issue that came up a few days ago about some donations. Ilona, I have a question though. Are we buying that? I get it. It might be suspicious, but I look at Mark Carney and like what he's doing, getting rid of his competition. That looks more suspicious than if she had taken donations, you know? So, I don't know. We'll continue.
This afternoon.
Yes, it was. And I can share with you that my candidacy was historic. My candidacy was historic because I was the first woman, of color. I was one of the first women.
Oh my God. Can we have a day where we don't have any, like, this DEI talk? Like, who cares if you're a woman of color? Like, I just want to hear why you would have been good for Canada. I don't give a shit. You could be a dog running. If you have good ideas, you're a legend.
Women of an immigrant community to seek the leadership for the Liberal Party of Canada to become Canada's Prime Minister. And I had thousands of well-wishers across the world who were excited about this movement and
I like how you guys say it. About
this moment for our party and our country.
Were you aware, or do you know if there was a corporation that was paying money to some of your campaign staff? Because corporations cannot donate in the political process.
Dude, I'm pretty certain it's going on. But then I think about it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure Justin Trudeau, any other politician on that side was doing the same thing, right? I can't be too crazy for thinking that. How can she be the only one that's doing that? She's like irrelevant, if you ask me, right? Justin's probably taking in so much cash.
Here, this is another one of the allegations against you.
Spectrum abre cada día una
right
puerta a
before the
posibilidades
allegations, they have to
infinitas.
throw
Spectrum,
ad
tus
at
juegos
us.
te transportan a otro universo.
Let's see what the other allegation is.
The allegations list, there were 12 allegations that they presented, and I can tell you it is again false. Our campaign has not in
Just tell us what it is, man. I don't know this. I want to hear it.
any way been
Hold on, Ilona, but they're here not too certain. They found an opportunity.
compliant with
Yeah, makes
Elections
sense.
Canada. We have ensured that
Doesn't
we
that kind of scare you, though, of how easy it is just to ruin a country's elections with some money?
have followed all of the rules of Elections Canada. The Liberal Party has come out. One day it was foreign interference. The next day it's about financial violations. I don't know what story is going to be coming out tomorrow, but I can tell you the fact that they have disqualified me clearly shows they did not want me on that debate stage. And they tried.
That part, I agree with 100%. Mark Carney did not want to get exposed on the debate stage.
To use any excuse they could to ensure that I would be disqualified.
So this was
Hey guys, 7 people in here real quick. If you guys can drop a like real quick, I'd appreciate that, and we'll continue.
Investigation, as I understand it, done, for the chief electoral officer, an assessment done. This is it's on official letterhead from a law firm.
One of the issues was donations that were made using the same credit card. Also, Monday and Tuesday debates are one day in English, and yeah, you said on Tuesday it's English, right?
This was presented
because I don't speak French. Her French is not good. She wouldn't have won then. She wouldn't have got that one province.
This seems like quite the elaborate.
I can hear the Indian accent from her. Whatever she is, sounds Indian to me.
Thing to do to keep you off the debate stage. I mean, people may look at that explanation and the process here and wonder if it's true. I mean, what do you say to anyone who's skeptical of your claims here?
Well, they took out one candidate from the South Asian community earlier on in the race, and they...
Yeah, who else? I heard they eliminated somebody else. They said, you're fired illegally, but you're fired.
Silenced him because he has not spoken since in regards to why he was let go.
This sounds like Soviet Russia now. This sounds like Soviet Russia. They silenced another candidate.
Silence me, and they're trying to do everything they can to cover their tracks. I do know what the truth is. I know that all of the information, was provided with them, and the allegations that they have made. One day it was again on foreign interference from the Modi government, who I haven't spoken to or been in contact with.
That was my guess. guess. I was like, did Modi donate?
Years, and then today it was in regards to
No, Modi's mad at your country. Modi's enemies are in your country, right? You guys support it's so hard to keep up with all these problems everyone has with each other, but
the financial, violations. They're false, they're fabricated, they're fake, and I will not let them smear the name of my campaign.
Yeah, someone was eliminated, and one reason was because he doesn't speak French, and they need to know both languages. Dude, that sucks. That sucks. It makes sense though. What percent of your population speaks French? I thought it was only one province that is French speaking.
Integrity of our campaign.
Well, as we
it's bad for you guys that it's a mess, but for me, across the border, this is so entertaining. I wish this would happen every year.
Discussed earlier today, before I knew about this meeting and before we knew about this decision, we did talk about.
I can't get over this guy's bald head. What a perfect shape for a bald head.
Or for Narendra Modi. As this evolved throughout the day, that does not appear to be the reason here at all. Like, that could be one political concern they have. But in terms of my understanding of the allegation against you, where there is a foreign interference component here, and I don't know if this is.
And I get that too. Like, if there's some sort of like foreign interference, it makes sense to kick her out because I don't know how to explain. Like, you're fighting for someone else's interest. And they're going to help you get into office. So you're not going to look out for your countrymen. You're going to look out for the guy that got you elected.
In violations that the party has concluded. And I don't know if you know at this point in time. But the claim was...
No, not yearly, please. It's tough because it'd be so entertaining.
Received a letter yet. So maybe during this...
Oh, you've been keeping up with U.S. politics? See, that I would like to know. What was your favorite part of this year's election cycle for the U.S.? From a Canadian's perspective.
Interview, I might have received something, but prior to coming on air, I just heard about the breaches from yourself. I have not been informed as to what the decision of the Liberal Party was, and it was actually through, the CBC that I actually heard about the decision of the Liberal Party.
Well, look, I'm sorry you had to find out that way. We were reaching out to your campaign as we were getting a sense of where this was going for reaction, but I appreciate that you don't want to react to something until you know.
The Liberal Party would have reached out to me versus the CBC.
Yeah, right. She can't get mad at him. He had an opportunity and he took it. It's reporting.
Oh, yes. So, I mean, you did speak to them today. You did make your case to the committee today, and clearly it.
I like her though, like just based off like personality and just meeting her for the first time. I would rather eliminate Mark Carney than her. At least she's nicer to look at.
Convince them, and I know you say this is a larger effort to keep you off the debate stage to protect Mr. Carney.
So the debates they're talking about is on Monday and Tuesday, right?
But what do you do now? My understanding is you can't...
Oh, this puts such a good storyline ahead of that, though. Oh my, I'll have to tune in to see if anyone calls out Carnival Mark, what's his name? Carnival Carney.
To the Permanent Appeals Committee of the Liberal Party. That would be a route that is open to you and anybody. Mr. Arya could have done that as well, though I don't believe he did it. What are you going to do, Ms. Dhalla?
Ms. Dhalla, what are you going to do?
I guess I'm going to take some time, first of all, to process what the Liberal Party has stated are the reasons for the breaches, because they have been provided with all of the evidence. If they have a preset,
See, any Canadians in here, wouldn't you guys want to see the actual papers, like, of what they have against her, what they found, what she said? I don't care what she has to say. Of course, it's going to be a little slanted.
Determined agenda. They have the establishment there. Obviously, all of the people that were on the committee.
Yeah, we don't need the moderators, but it's okay. I like seeing the little blue wrench.
Are all a part of one team, and they do not want to have anyone challenging the status quo. They do not.
If you guys are watching from Canada, slap a Canadian flag in the comments.
Want to have anyone challenging the front runner in the Liberal leadership race, which I do not understand, because we were in an election, and in an election, it's the talking about progressive ideas. I think it is a sad day today.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of agree. Even if they're gonna slap her out of here, I wish they would have waited until the debates, because then they could get all the information. They can't say that they're shutting her up. It would look better optically.
Not only for the Liberal Party, but for democracy, for free speech here in Canada, and also for those that want a progressive...
I have so many questions for you guys. So we have the First Amendment here for free speech. Do you guys have like protection for your free speech?
Policy agenda for immigrants in our country, for people of color.
We don't really know. This came out yesterday, end of day Friday when news doesn't have that much news and viewership. I see.
Because with my candidacy in the race, we were making history, and it is really unfortunate that the Liberal Party didn't see it as such.
You mentioned people of color and the South Asian heritage of both you and Mr. Chandra Arya, who were disqualified. You keep coming back to this. Do you believe race played a role in this? Because that seems to be a component of what you're saying here.
That would be a good question for the Liberal Party.
It had nothing to do with the money, guys. It was just the racism. We have the Charter of Rights. You know, maybe I'll watch a video explaining Canada's Charter of Rights, how your politics work.
Facts that they've disqualified 2 people from immigrant communities, both from the South Asian community. I mean, I think the Liberal Party would probably be best suited to answer that question.
But what do you believe? I mean, you have mentioned this. I assume you must have mentioned this in your direct appeal to the I believe it's 12 people who were meeting today to decide on this. I mean, what is your view on this as the person?
It wouldn't have mattered what she said.
I think it's a targeted attack against all immigrants in Canada. The fact that they do not
Whoa there, Tiger. Whoa, slow your horses. Slow your horses. Just because you got eliminated, it does not mean they're attacking every Indian who lives in Canada.
To have people from immigrant communities represented for top leadership roles. It's okay, you know, to get involved as a member of parliament or an MPP, but they do not want to have someone from an ethnic community running for the top position in Canada.
Well, Frank Baylis says
it's an internal matter within federal party. They are under no legal obligation to state why we got kicked out. However, they have to follow the Election Canada policies and laws. Fair enough, Terry. Fair enough.
Is black. He's of mixed race heritage. I mean, he's
I'm trying to like react to it and judge it, but then it's like it's kind of hard because I don't know your rules or. So just correct me if I say something
Certainly
wrong.
not. He has not been disqualified unless there's something else I don't know about. But I mean,
maybe he'll find out from CBC News as well.
Well, I mean, Anita Anand had bowed out, but
CBC News, they're right here with you.
Would certainly have been allowed to run in this race.
I just realized something. If you take the CB out of CBC CNN, it's CNN Live.
USAID, we've seen people from South Asian communities.
I was allowed to run as well.
Right.
You know, so the party, at the end of the day, the fact of who they have disqualified, it speaks for itself in terms of their decisions. I have been involved with the party since the age of 14. The party, you know, during my time was always inclusive. It was not a small cabal of individuals that were making decisions, but we are seeing and have seen that the party does not want to have anyone questioning the establishment, going against the status quo of the establishment. That's why it is really important, you know, for my team to know that this type of decision by the Liberal Party will not silence
she got fired.
Thousands of Liberals across the country who wanted change.
Okay, this is a final point, Ms. Dhalla. They say there are...
She gonna get deported now, or what's the rules on that? So she technically cheated, right? Doesn't she have to go to jail or get something? Or is this enough punishment for her?
10 violations, and it was unanimous. We're talking double-digit violations and unanimity in a committee. Those are both, that's critical mass in multiple directions here to come to this decision. But you just deny that even unwittingly you may have violated financial rules?
I, you know, said to them I was very humble in my conversation, you know, with the committee. If I have...
I really want to get the behind the scenes. If only they were wearing GoPros.
Made any violations, please let me know. We will have them fixed. There is nothing that my auditors or my accounting team that had seen that was glaring. We provided supporting documentation for everything. Nothing has been filed to date.
Let's go see some Canadians react to it, see what they have to say. CTV News, Liberal Party meets on Ruby Dhalla candidacy ahead of leadership debates. Let's see what they have to say. Wrong.
When you travel for business,
Thank
you
guys
never know where you'll get stuck.
tuning in to a random American reacting to Canadian news.
Or if that's in policy. Or how you'll get home.
SAP concur. Welcome back. We've got some developing news in the Liberal leadership
What channel
race.
is this? Is this right or left leaning? Power play.
At this hour, the Liberal Party has met to decide if candidate Ruby Dhalla can stay.
Whoa! Why does she look so different here than the other one?
In the race amidst allegations of fundraising irregularities. Now, we're going to try and bring you the latest on this developing story as it does happen. But Dhalla has posted this on social media. She says, quote, "I have just seen the CBC News report alleging financial irregularities in my campaign. My response is simple. These allegations are fabricated, fictitious, and fake, and yet another attempt by unknown sources to have me removed from the..."
Does she have no way of like fighting back though? Is there no like appeal process, or can't she just prove herself correct, you know?
Debate and the ballot. This news coming just ahead of the party saying that it is going to have those two leaders debates next week. It's really all in advance of the big convention.
So who is it now then? It's going to be Carney, Pierre, and that one lady?
On March the 9th, where the next Liberal leader and the next Prime Minister will be announced. Usually, these types of party debates are quite polite, with candidates agreeing with each other on a number of things.
Yo, I've never seen it before, but I'm telling you this year, it might get a little heated.
And try
Think
not
about it. If an American here is hearing about the news there, it's getting spicy.
To be too divisive. So will anyone drop the gloves and land a real punch during this debate? And frankly, are we going to have all five of them there? We're not
I'd love to see a real punch land on Mark.
Not sure. Let's bring back the front bench. Sabrina Grover, Melanie Paradis, and Gurritin Singh.
Here we go.
Sabrina.
Here we go. So we got diversity here. We got a white man, we got a white woman, we got a woman of color, and we got a man of color. And bearded. And balding. And wide set eyes.
I'll start with you on this one.
The whole diversity panel is here.
Maybe a quick reaction to what we're hearing, not only from Dhalla, but some of the reports out there, and the fact that this could actually go down to a race of four.
Hey guys, just real quick, like and sub if you guys want to keep up with my Canada reactions, America reactions, everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly if the allegations are true of Ruby Dhalla accepting financial donations from corporations.
Yeah, again, it's all like they're speculating if it's true, but like, how do we know? Someone has to prove something. Do you have like, can they at least allege who they think it was? Is there really no shred of anything they can release?
I think that obviously is a clear violation of the rules, and I think that she's claimed there that it's unknown sources. I think it's the party, so it's not really an unknown source that's meant to disqualify her. So we'll wait to see what happens there. I don't think it changes the nature of the race or the dynamics of the race otherwise.
Yeah, I mean,
but to your first,
let's be real. I didn't know who she was, so she was probably irrelevant the whole time.
First question about the debates. So I do agree that I think that you've seen both a campaign from the Liberal leadership candidates that has been generally quite respectful and not really throwing punches within each other. And I think that was on purpose. I think we've come out of a time where the party did go through a lot of challenges, where there was a lot of internal...
It's going to be Freeland, Carney, and Gold. Oh, this is only the Liberals. And then our conservatives pretty much just united behind Pierre, like America was behind Trump.
Strife, and I think it's the job of any leader to come together.
The opposition, sir.
Now after this, whoever wins, and actually build bridges within the party. And so I don't think you start that by having, a negative baseline during the campaign. When it comes to the debate, debates are not really about policy. People are not watching them for policy. They're watching them for
I agree.
Leadership and ability to engage.
Optics.
An ability to communicate and an ability to tell a message to Canadians. And so I think it'll be really interesting to watch this debate because it'll be the first time someone like Mark Carney is actually facing off against elected officials, right?
Mark's going to get demolished. He's not going to know what hit him.
Whereas Karina Gould and even Frank Bayless and Chrystia Freeland have been in the House before and know how to, have this back and forth in a respectful parliamentary manner. This is going to be the first time Mark Carney's ever stepped into this ring. And so I think it'll be really interesting to see how he does in that situation and how both Ms. Freeland and Ms. Gould, push back.
And just again, for full disclosure, Sabrina, I'll let you sort of declare who you've been supporting in this.
Yeah, I've been supporting Karina Gould.
Oh, isn't it kind of weird when you already announce you already have a bias, right?
Okay, just to be clear, make sure that we have it on the record whenever we have any one of these discussions.
Let's see if anyone says anything other than that.
Mel, what do you think now happens going forward with this? And I'll let you, if you want to address what is happening with Ms. Dhalla, or if you want to get right into the debate, up to you. Take it away.
I mean, leadership races, I always say Murphy's Law applies.
Canadian,
anything that can go wrong.
News, like, when people just sit in front of a camera like me and just react to shit. No knowledge, just straight up. That's what I want right now. Ontario PC leader Doug Ford highlights plan for critical minerals. No. Who is Ruby Dhalla? No, this is from a while ago. Let's go back. That one I was watching was okay.
Welcome back. We've got some developing news in the Liberal leadership.
Accusations are true of Ruby, that it's unknown source. That I think that you've seen both of any leader to come to ability to engage.
I like you, but we gotta skip forward.
Whereas Mark Carney's ever. I've been supporting Karina Gould.
Oh my gosh, you talked a lot.
I mean, leadership races, I always say Murphy's Law applies. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, including candidates being removed for reasons like this that we obviously don't have all of the information about yet, but I'm sure will be really interesting.
Do all of you guys say that about? I'm gonna start saying that here. About
story once we do.
About.
Look, debates, in this debate in particular, I think we're going to see all of the other candidates attacking Mark Carney as the front runner, and to see how he reacts, how he responds.
Which they should.
Is his team able to prepare him for attacks from all sides? Because ultimately, that's what I think Liberal members who are voting in this leadership are going to want to see, whether or not he can hold his own. Because to Sabrina's point, no one's had the benefit of seeing him in public office before, and we can't tell whether he'll be...
I mean, if the rumors are true, he hasn't even been in the country for like 10 years. Yeah.
Be able to withstand that. He also hasn't done a whole heck of a lot of media. He's done a lot of American media, but not as much...
American media? That's a lie. I've never seen the guy in my life before this. Who even is he? He's like a little salamander that just swims through sometimes.
Canada, and so we've not seen how battle tested he is. So I think this debate is going to be a real test.
What if he's throwing his hat in the race, because if Pierre wins, then his freeloading money sucking grease my own pockets is ending.
For him, whether or not he is as prepared for this position as some Liberals think that he is.
Yeah, and just further to the point on Ruby Dhalla, there are some other tweets.
Like they said, though, he's been advising the government since 2020. If you don't see how he's handled it by now, like, you're crazy.
That we have here. One of them that she'd put out about half an hour ago, saying donors donated directly to the campaign instead of using a customized link. The campaign refunded the donations and asked the donors to resubmit them via the customized link. These donations estimated $21,000. This was not a violation. She puts in all caps, yet another fake, false, fabricated story. And so she continues to respond.
Again, she can say that, but... show us something, say something. Everybody can say, I didn't do it.
To this one,
I didn't do it.
I'll let you,
Wasn't
again,
me.
as I did with Mel, if you want to respond to what has happened to Ruby Dhalla, or about how these debates are shaping up.
I'll just say that in general, we know that there's been a very robust conversation about foreign interference in Canadian politics. And we know that there were early reports about possible foreign interference with relation to...
What about China and Justin Trudeau? Is that not foreign interference of the whole everything? Or the WEF, World Economic Forum? You guys didn't vote for the World Economic Forum.
Dhalla's campaign.
Or Davos.
We also know that there's a pretty close connection between Ruby Dhalla and the Indian government. There's nothing... this is pretty public information on Prime Minister Modi's own YouTube channel. There's an endorsement video of Ruby Dhalla on that video.
Oh, and now, on Modi's page? I gotta go find that after.
We have this irregularity around questions of whether she's in the campaign.
I mean, I don't know, because I think about it, I'm like, Elon Musk supported the AfD in Germany.
Or not, there's sources reporting that she's no longer in the campaign because of this fundraising issue. I think as a whole, these are very serious questions that we need answers for. And I think beyond that, it just demonstrates how important it is that we have a robust response to foreign interference.
Robust.
And particularly, we need to make sure that India is continually being held account for what we're seeing are clear evidence of India's.
Okay, guys, I know there's some of you from Canada. I'm going to ask a weird question. Some of you have to answer it. Is there really that many Indians in Canada? I hear a lot about Indians in Canada.
Meddling in our politics and also with direct examples of violence vis-a-vis the assassination of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. So all of this really should just bring the issue of foreign interference to the forefront. And we should recognize that there are continual attacks against our democracy and our citizens by the Indian government and other foreign nations.
Okay, Sabrina, I've got about 45 seconds, and I'm going to give it to you. But I want to ask you specifically.
Next, we got your point of view. Next. Let's see what this... Oh, this is what you just watched. Okay, let's just put her name. Let's search her name, and then I'm going to put most recent. Recent, and then hopefully some personal stuff comes up. Here we go, Northern Perspective. Let's get his opinion. He'll clarify for me. Of course, after the ad and all that. Can't forget.
That feeling when you file Fed and state 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 10.
They still had a predetermined agenda to keep Ruby Dhalla off of the ballot.
Why?
It's bad form. It's classless. That's the Liberal Party for you.
All right, I stumbled upon the right page. This is the Conservatives. Yes, but I suggest you look up Sam Cooper another time about Chinese interference. Yes, I know 100% there's Chinese interference. 100%.
I've just received a statement from the Liberal Party, Ms. Dhalla, national unanimous. After
I want to get a Northern Perspective's perspective.
Section 8.
You feel for her because she's live on television with CBC, the Liberal mouthpiece, right? And she's being told in no uncertain terms, you are disqualified.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't even care about the situation at that point because I barely know the lady. I just got introduced to her like 30 minutes ago. But damn, you're really going to send out the email while she's having an interview? Damn, heartless.
I think she probably handled it as best she could have. I mean, she couldn't just break down and start crying on live TV. That wouldn't be good, right?
No, honestly, I got to give her props. She handled it pretty well for, finding out last minute.
Well, yeah, and maybe she's just saying, you know what? Maybe she thinks this is even an attempt by the Liberal Party to embarrass her. I don't know.
Could be, but I think maybe the news of the disqualification is news, but I think she may have suspected it was coming because ordinarily they don't just...
She seemed pretty prepared, to be honest. Her responses were on point. She kind of knew what she was saying. It's not like she got taken like off track.
Kick you out, especially in this case, and we'll learn this very soon, is that it sounds like there was almost a jury that had asked Ruby some questions about the irregularities in her campaign. They had conducted an interview with her, so she may have...
See, for you, those of you watching, wouldn't you guys want to see that interview instead of her talking about, oh, I'm not guilty?
Suspected that this was coming.
Well, and what led up to that was also 27 questions that she was sent, and this was in the news a few days ago, by the Liberal Party, and there were some allegations of maybe there were allegations of foreign interference in there. The Liberal Party said no.
I could see it happening. Like, it's not that crazy to say something like that.
Oh, there wasn't, but there was a bunch of questions that she had to answer to address some concerns by the Liberal Party. So yeah, Tanya might be right. Maybe she saw this coming and was just like...
For sure. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys think she saw it coming? I think she did. Like, she was prepared with her answer. She was just waiting. When are they going to drop it?
Oh, okay.
I mean, you guys have, like, the news coming out about Justin getting investigated. There's also your version of USAID sending money overseas. So I'm sure like a week ago she was getting nervous.
Okay, well, here it comes. But still, why is CBC getting this email?
Right, why is the news anchor on CBC being the one to tell her?
Yeah, like...
If they did it on purpose, though, I might have to give them a little credit for... That's pretty top-tier troll stuff right there. It's messed up, but that's troll level.
What a clown show.
I'm assuming this is the first you are hearing this statement. What do you say that it was unanimous?
We already saw this.
Who was finding out
It's not
shocking.
me. I didn't do it. Someone else did it. I don't know Modi.
Stage and
I'm
wanted
not
to
even
come.
Indian.
I have
I'm a
been
person of color.
Set you today.
On the defense committee asking where the virtual taken. Proof was probably false. Determined.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to...
There. So first there's some allegations of racism, which is interesting.
Of course, we're in 2025. If you get in trouble, the first thing you have to say is you're racist.
Coming from within the Liberal Party.
Not really. I mean, the left always cries about racism.
No, but it's always interesting when the left accuses itself of racism. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but I said
infighting. This doesn't even look good. Like, the Liberals will lose support just because of this situation. I'm telling you, the whole optics thing. Because say you guys watching this, you guys are somewhat curious about politics, right? I know there's like grandmas, grandpas, like some moms and dads. They don't give a shit about politics. They just go vote, they take care of their kids, and that's it.
Stuff like this would happen, that they would start to eat themselves.
Yeah.
The closer we got.
Towards Ruby Dhalla. Shame on all of you. Ruby Dhalla, take them to court. Ruby Dhalla has bigger things to worry about.
The actual leadership election.
All the TV stations.
So,
nah, I think it's more so the politicians. But hey, maybe.
So that's the first part. The second part is she says, according to her internal polling, she was neck and neck with Mark Carney. Now, here's the thing, folks. It's hard to know what polls to trust out there other than the conventional ones.
Exactly. Even the conventional ones, they might not be telling you the truth.
Which is going to be your abacus and innovative research right now. So I'm not even going to go by any of the liberal polls that are out there saying.
Let's get another perspective. Let's change from the northern perspective to the south. No, I don't know. Is there a southern? Damn, look, even India's reacting. Indian origin Prime Minister candidate of Canada, Ruby Dhalla, under fire for India meddling. Should you see what India's saying? Damn, they're really invested in this too.
Ruby Dhalla, a very well-known Indian-Canadian politician, is in the race to become the leader of Canada's Liberal Party. But
Defund the CBC. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Ruby will do next. Certain she won't go down without a fight.
She has found herself at the center of a big controversy. Canadian media, quoting unnamed party sources, claimed that India might be interfering in her campaign. Though Dhalla has strongly denied all the allegations.
I'm sorry. I used to have a teacher in college with an Indian accent, really heavy. And I just learned nothing, and I have PTSD when I hear it now. Look at this. There's more non-Canadian reactions than Canadian. I'm the closest.
Okay, you're good to go. Welcome to Frontier.
Awesome, thank you. In my lifetime, I will own 44 cell phones.
Wow, congrats on your 44
Former Liberal
cell
leadership
phones.
candidate Ruby Dhalla says she found out she was being kicked out of
How much surgery has she had on her face, though?
the race from CBC News.
What
She looks so different here. You know, she has like a ring light on her.
That it was unanimous.
Well, I think it speaks to the state of the Liberal Party of Canada that a candidate who is running to become leader of the party, who is running to become prime minister in our country, is finding out that she has been disqualified on air from an email that the media outlet that she is interviewing with has received.
The Liberal Party issued an evening release saying former MP Ruby Dhalla broke 10 rules, including violating the Canada Elections Act, inaccurate financial reporting, and non-disclosure of material facts. Dhalla says she's being pushed out.
Because they did not want anyone challenging the front runner, their blue-eyed boy, Mark Carney.
A source told CBC News she's accused of accepting donations from a corporation in the form of payments to campaign staff and for failing to disclose the involvement of a non-Canadian citizen in the campaign. She says it's not true.
These are false and fabricated stories that are being made up. We have provided them with all of the information in regards to this.
She can appeal, but one veteran Liberal says the party wouldn't do this without evidence.
In these situations, the party, if it's going to take a big step to disqualify someone, is going to make sure they've got legal cover for it. They're going to run it past every lawyer they know.
Dhalla is the second candidate to be disqualified. The first was MP Chandra Arya. Neither was considered a front-runner.
There really was no one out there who believed she had any chance to win or even finish in the top 3 in this race. So to that end, it probably doesn't really change the dynamics a lot.
There are still 4 candidates in the Liberal leadership race: Mark Carney, Chrystia Freeland, Karina Gould, and Frank Baylis. They're set to debate next week. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
I'm back. I had to get water. Don't hate me. I came a little late. All right, should we watch let's watch Doug Ford,
Thank you so much, and I'm delighted to be back here in Thunder Bay with the all-star Kevin Holland, Thunder Bay Atikokan, and Rick Dumas, Thunder Bay Superior North. Rick, I look forward.
Why does his shirt look like the Harley symbol?
Park, and a big thank you to my friends at LaUna Local 607 for hosting us. Absolute
Let's
champions.
go, Beard Squad in the back. I'm certain the other runners will not press Carney hard. I know, that's what I was thinking. That's why they kept her in there, or them. Let's look at Canada debates. Let's get a preview of the debates, like a UFC fight. Did the Ontario debates move the needle with voters? Oh no, what the hell? There was debates? I missed debates? No. Oh, Canada. Ruby Dhalla. Ruby Dhalla, Canada.
And let's bring in our CTV News political commentator.
Let's bring in the expert. Slightly messed up hairline, slight beard, white man, white.
Scott Reed with more on this. Scott, thanks as always for joining us.
Hi, Roger.
Latest twist and turn with the Liberal leadership race. Dhalla out. Is that surprising, and what kind of an impact will it have?
I would love to go to McDonald's and see Justin Trudeau serving some McNuggets.
I think it is surprising. It's a dramatic thing to take a leadership candidate, somebody who served as a member of parliament in the past, and effectively void their candidacy. That's not a decision that's taken lightly. And so, when I hear the protestations of Ms. Dhalla, I am forced to also...
Aren't you guys still prorogued? How's all this going on? There's so many political moves happening while no one's even in session.
Think to myself, well, they must have a substantial number of concerns. They must have a long...
Okay, but what happens if later it's proven that it wasn't substantial and they were wrong? Does she get slotted in as president?
List of violations that have caused their eyebrows to cock, and they must be taking this very seriously. They wouldn't just do this capriciously. Mm-hmm. And, according to reports, her campaign was given ample opportunity to respond, to provide detailed explanations as to how these violations might have occurred.
She looks really different. I don't like it. Look how different she looks here than her interview.
Could be put in place. What explanations they might possibly be able to muster.
That's why she got kicked out. It's because she was catfishing.
and those are obviously not compelling. So this is surprising, but so far it's, I have to say, Ruby Dhalla's explanations have left a little to be wanted.
All right, let's look ahead to the debates coming up.
I was kind of saying that, like, she's rebuking that she's corrupt, but she didn't say how, why, you know?
How will they shape
up spill anything
with
for
Dhalla
us
out now?
Well, I mean, contrary to her assertions, it is a grand conspiracy to keep her off the debate stage. I'm not sure, to be candid with you, anybody was expecting a lot of light and fire around her. So I don't.
Damn, Bridget North, you hear this guy? He's calling out.
I don't think they're much affected by her absence. I think there's one really major storyline about both of these debates, and that is, how will Mark Carney perform in French? That's the question that's on people's minds. He's the runaway front runner. It is.
Mark's not good at French. He's going to get demolished then in French.
Now, I think widely assumed that he will win the leadership, that he will be the next prime minister. And we've actually seen the polls in Quebec betray a lot of curiosity among Quebecers about him, particularly as they look at...
They can't vote for Ruby anymore. She actually got kicked out, so maybe somewhere else. Maybe she can come to India and she can run against Modi.
There are troubles with Trump, but the question lingers, how...
Bridgenoth, would you rather vote for Modi or Ruby? Was her name Ruby? Yeah, Ruby. Who you got?
How strong is his French? How comfortable is he in his second language? And he's going to be put to the test in that first debate.
All right, one last question with talking about provincial politics. The non-election in Ontario. I mean, I live in Toronto. I think I've seen about 3 campaign signs. We're heading into the last week. Is this decided pretty much?
You're not alone. It's been a quiet campaign, and really what the polls tell us is almost nothing has shifted since the beginning of the election. That's great news, obviously. You're done fourth. He had a wide lead to begin with. It looks like he's going to finish with a wide lead. Literally, we may be asking ourselves on election night, is he going to go into the history books along with David Peterson?
Oh, here we go. Pierre and Mark the Circus Carney. Heated debate.
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
Hey, do you support the Prime Minister's decision to veto the Northern Gateway pipeline, Mr. Carney?
Mr. Carney.
I understand the veto of the Northern Gateway pipeline.
You support it?
Given both environmental and commercial reasons.
Maybe.
Do you support it?
I think it was sensible. I wasn't involved in the decision, but I think it was the right decision.
Maybe.
And yet your company has invested billions of dollars in oil companies in both Brazil and the UAE.
He's been on Jordan Peterson?
Trump famously met with Trudeau and seemed to troll him quite hard.
This.
I mean, the first thing, I don't know to what degree the Canadian press picked up on this, but Trudeau wasn't invited to stay at Mar-a-Lago. And there's 126 rooms there. So, and Trump invites everyone to stay there who he invites there. And so, you know, that was a message. And then he trolled him hard. He called him the governor.
He's been trolling him hard. He hasn't stopped trolling Justin.
Of America's 51st state. And
I want to see if Pierre gets in, if he calls it the 51st state still. I think he'll stop after Sneaky Justin's out. Sneaky.
Let it be known that he had very little respect for him, and then he announced a 25% tariff on Canadian goods. And so I had like 2 reactions to that. You know, one was, because I'm no fan of Trudeau, one was amused pleasure at Trump's vicious humor, let's say. And the other was, you know, he still is the leader of your primary ally.
It's probably a weird feeling because at one hand, it's like, you know, he's kind of attacking Justin, but then it's like, he kind of attacked Canada too.
And an ally in a G7 nation. And so, you know, maybe that verged on contempt. Now,
also, I've noticed Pierre, his hands are always in the same spot when he's sitting, and his back is always so straight.
I'm not exactly sure what to make of that. And I'm curious about your response and also how you feel about negotiating a new relationship with the Americans and with the Trump administration in particular.
Well, I won't spend a lot of time on how I feel about it other than to say Trudeau is a weak leader.
who leads
I love that. He just attacks Trudeau.
a weakened economy with a weakened dollar, a weakened border. And President Trump has a strong mandate, and he spent his life as a highly successful businessman in the
Timbit. What do they call him? Timbit Trump. He's glazing Trump a little here.
Most cutthroat economic environment in the world, New York City.
In construction.
In construction.
Yeah, and in Chicago.
With the mobs,
right?
with the mobs everywhere.
This is a former businessman who can spot weakness a mile away and act on it. So that, to me, it's just humiliating for all Canadians.
It's not personal, it's business.
To witness something like that, because this is our country. But what am I going to do about it? Well, look, first and foremost, we need to show up with strength. We have an American president who has always put America first. He's very blunt about it. I'll put Canada first.
Good.
That's
what Trump wants to hear. He doesn't want to hear this Justin answer. We're going to put India first. We're going to put China first. We're going to put Uganda first. We're going to put Swahili first.
Is that there's immense overlap in the two countries' respective interests and values. We're both liberal democracies. We both value freedom. We both share a geography. We have our enemies.
Yeah, we have a huge border together. Think about how massive our border is. It's like, I can't even wrap my head around that.
And our risks and our threats are the same. So there's no reason why we can't both win. And if you look at the history
let's just win. If both of our countries just stop wasting so much money, why couldn't both of our countries be rich, filthy rich, for the Canadians and the Americans?
President Trump, he negotiates very aggressively, and he likes to win. But in the end, he doesn't appear to have a problem if his counterparty also wins. So I think that we can get a great deal that will make both countries safer, richer, and stronger.
Let's go. That's what I love to hear. See, everything is aligning, if you ask me. He's aligning with Trump. Trump's aligning with Farage. They're aligning with AFD. We're going to have like the world win.
And that's the goal that I'll be coming into these negotiations with.
But think about it. Like, all these countries send their money to like Uganda, Africa, this place, that place. Like, if everyone is sending it, where's all this money going? They have like an abundance of money in these countries that don't even deserve it.
Okay, so
and
what?
Like, it's one thing if the people there were getting it and it's something useful, but I'm almost certain that that money is not going where it's intended to go. That's a form of like kickback. I give it to you, you take some, you donate to me.
Would a great deal look like, as far as you're concerned, with the Americans on the energy side? Now, one of the things that Trump pointed to was Canada's trade surplus with the U.S.
Yes.
$100 billion. And that was his estimate.
Yeah.
Now,
it depends how you measure it. Other estimates have it around 40 billion, but he's right. There is
that's what I've heard. It's like around 50, and then some people say like 100.
A Canadian trade surplus with the States. And look, from a mercantilist point of view, you can say that America has been ripped off by China and Mexico, and you can see examples of a factory closing in Ohio or Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Mexico was trying to open like this massive car manufacturing plant, and China was investing into it. And if Trump lost, dude, there would be no car manufacturing in America left. And now that he put tariffs on Mexico, those car manufacturers are coming back to America and they're opening plants here. Not only that, chip manufacturers are coming here. What else?
To open in Mexico or in China, but that's not the nature of the Canadian trade surplus. It's not because the Canadian economy has been taking American jobs, far from it. The nature of our trade surplus with America is that, yes, it is a ripoff. Canada is ripping itself off. And let me explain.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. Like, I feel like all these problems could fix itself and everyone can win if you just take the fraud and corruption out of it on both sides. And I think that's where we're going to get to. I hope your guys' elections happen soon, honestly.
Our entire trade surplus and more is due to oil and gas, because we export about $120 billion of oil and gas to the United States at enormous discounts to market price, because we have been so stupid and our bureaucrats...
Hey, but I heard you guys are going to start selling to the European Union now, and hopefully you guys are marking it up a little bit.
...have been so obstructive, and woke activists have been so fanatical that we have not been able to develop the infrastructure to refine and transport our own energy to world markets.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I feel like Canada's been too reliant on the gravy train of selling to the U.S. market that it's been taken for granted, and it hasn't diversified where it sends LNG to. Hold on. What was that? Sorry guys, I just heard a loud explosion. Dude, that was crazy. Something exploded in our front yard. There was like smoke everywhere. That was crazy. What the hell?
We
we're
sell
stuck with the U.S.
We
so
sell,
to speak.
depending on the time, we sell a barrel of oil to the Americans for, you know,
God, that was scary. That was so loud.
10 to 30 or 40% cheaper than the world price. There's a price called Western Canada Select. It's significantly lower than WTI. We send it, up until recently, at least 99% of our oil exports to America. They then get to upgrade it and resell it at enormous profits, with their welders and pipe fitters, engineers making the six-figure salaries that go along with that. We give all of our natural gas exports to the United States because we don't have an operating liquefaction terminal to send it away ourselves. So they get our natural gas at massive discounts, and then they can decide if they want to liquefy it and ship it off to world markets at literally $5.
I can't. Hold on, I don't even know where the mic is. Dude, something exploded in my front yard.
So that is the trade surplus he's talking about. Now, if he were to stop that today, what it would mean is that American workers at refineries and in other value-added places would lose their jobs, and Americans would pay higher energy prices. So that would not be good for America. In the long run, I'll be very blunt, I intend to approve refineries and LNG plants and hopefully pipelines so that I can bring that production back to Canada and make us more energy independent.
Dude, I'm
but in the short run, if President Trump wants to make America richer, the last thing he should want to do is block the underpriced Canadian energy from going into his marketplace. In fact, what I would encourage him to do is to approve the Keystone Pipeline so that we can create jobs for American workers who will build and install it, but also create much more wealth for Alberta and Saskatchewan and having their product reach tidewater in the U.S. Gulf Coast and get world prices. So that's an economic win. We also, it's not just oil and gas though. We have the strategic minerals that are necessary for warfare and for the modern digital economy in Canada that we could be exporting to the United States, breaking both of our dependency on China. We have the energy, the electricity. We have a major surplus of electricity, a surplus that we could even grow further, that could be used for data centers that America cannot build fast enough. So there's enormous opportunities for both of us to get vastly richer if we actually deepen our trade relationship.
Yeah, not just to get him in trouble, just because, like, get the fuck out of here type shit.
Relationship rather than blocking it.
Right. Well, it seems highly probable to me that that would be the direction that the Trump administration would turn in if they were negotiating with
guys, I'm not sleeping tonight. I'm going to be staring out my window.
People who were playing a straight game and we're actually aiming for something like...
Yeah, I'm trying to focus on the video, but, like, it's difficult, you know? It's like a bomb just went off outside.
Economic prosperity instead of whatever the hell it is that Trudeau's aiming for now. So you made brief reference to something quite shocking. Its full import didn't really strike me until your comments. So the fact, for example, that Trudeau turned away the Chancellor of Germany and the leader of Japan when they came cap in hand to Canada asking for increased natural gas exports over the long run also meant, given that we refused that we ended up maintaining our low-cost contracts with the United States and selling them all our resources at a discount.
Yes,
Jesus,
enormous.
Why would you sell your gas at a discount? That's the biggest moneymaker on earth. Black gold, they call it.
Stupid.
Enormous.
So that's the business case Trudeau couldn't make.
Well, what I would, I hate to say this, but because we have blocked LNG plants and pipelines and other energy infrastructure, and because we're giving, therefore, our gas to America at like a 70 or 80% discount to European and Asian prices, and our oil at a discount of 20 or 30%, we're effectively throwing money out a window. What do you do when someone throws money out a window?
You yell at them and say, you're dumb.
Stand next to the window.
Yeah, right.
Like, I mean, so that is the true story of it's the pathetic story of our trade surplus, is that we're actually handing over our resources stupidly. It's not the Americans' fault. It's our fault. We're stupid. And we're going to stop being stupid when I'm Prime Minister. We're going to build...
Hopefully. I'm hoping for that. Please don't vote Mark Carney. Is anyone voting for Mark Carney in here? Mark Carney? Any Mark Carney fans in here? We have a Ruby Dhalla fan.
This infrastructure ourselves, but in the meantime, it would be bad for American workers and consumers for the president to tariff our oil and gas. And look, we have an integrated economy. I think an automobile crosses the border something like
8 times, 9 times.
8 or 9 times between Ontario and the manufacturing states of the U.S. before it becomes a finished product. Why interrupt those supply chains? Also, why not allow Americans just to have access?
I'll give you Trump's perspective. It's because Trump doesn't even want Canada to make them. Trump wants America to make the American cars.
To buying our minerals, or better yet, why don't we improve them here in Canada before we sell them to the United States to break dependence on hostile foreign powers? And by the way, what I would say to President Trump is that the gains that Canada gets from increased access to the United States, I would spend largely on our continental defense.
Oh, Trump's gonna love hearing that. He's gonna love hearing that. He's gonna go, yeah, Pierre.
a more powerful Canadian military that truly secures the Arctic, that protects us against terrorists, against intercontinental ballistic missiles, against threats from, God forbid, threats from other parts of the world. We could have a bigger and more powerful military with a bigger and more powerful economy. And so our interests overlap overwhelmingly, and that's the case that I would make to the incoming president, who has proven that he is good at and likes to make deals.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's going to be it for me for today. I can't really focus right now. I'm hungry. Something exploded outside. So I think I got to go investigate a little bit. And then I might come back and do another stream later. It's not going to be anything like this. There was a car chase it was pretty near my house, like 30-40 minute car chase. I'm going to watch the car chase after this. So if you guys aren't subbed already, and if you guys haven't liked the video, please do that. And I appreciate you guys stopping by, watching me watch random things for no reason. And I do take suggestions. Ilona is already suggesting stuff, and I love that. Because you got to understand, for me to get Canadian content, someone has to recommend it. Because it doesn't just pop up on my recommendeds. Sometimes, but not too much. Damn, but you guys have 9 people here. It would be a shame if I just signed off now, right? I can watch one more video. If anybody puts a comment, I might watch it. If not, I'm gonna sign out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, time's up. Thank you, guys.